Pulling heavy wall tube stubs from a tube sheet is one of the toughest steps in retubing, not because crews lack skill, but because the stub is often locked in. Corrosion bonds it, overexpansion clamps it, and serrations bite into the wall. The key is reducing the remaining stub wall to about 0.5 millimeters. At that thickness, the expansion grip drops dramatically, and the stub can often be driven out cleanly with tube drifts. Standard drills and piloted reamers can work, but the process is usually slow and unpredictable. High push force, vibration, chip packing, and tool stalling, all of which cost time and increase the risk of damaging the tube sheet. Today we're introducing the next version of one of our most popular machines, MiniMill-301-WTRT. This is our 300 RPM wall thickness reduction and tube stub removal tool, built specifically for the realities of retubing work in heat exchangers. Let's walk through what's new and why it matters. First, rigidity and control. The MiniMill-300-WTRT uses our new multi-flute drilling head integrated with a locking shaft, designed to maximize stiffness and minimize deflection. In tube stub removal, stiffness is everything. The more rigid the system is, the more stable the cut becomes, and the less the tool wants to chatter, walk, or grab. For the most common application, 3/4-inch tubes, we use a 10mm locking shaft, which is one of the most popular sizes in the field. That shaft gives operators the strength and control they need, while still fitting the real-world constraints of the job. Second, the cutting action. At the heart of the process is our 9-flute reaming head. Why 9 flutes? Because more flutes, when engineered correctly, means smoother engagement, smaller chip size, and better stability. Instead of producing long chips that jam and pack, this head produces very small chips, which helps prevent stalling and reduces the chance of the tool locking up inside the stub. That means smoother operation through the full cut, fewer interruptions, less risk of jamming, less vibration transmitted to the operator, and a more consistent finish. In simple terms, it cuts cleaner and it keeps moving. Third, the process depth and step strategy. The system allows us to drill out 60 millimeters deep in 2 steps. And yes, some of you will say, why not more? Fair question. But here's the engineering reality. We're working with a locking shaft that's only 10 millimeters, or 3/8 of an inch, and its diameter is small compared to its length. When you push a long, slender shaft too far beyond its stable working range, you invite deflection, chatter, and tool instability. So we chose a setup that balances depth with reliability. The goal isn't to claim the biggest number, it's to deliver a process that operators can repeat confidently without fighting the tool and without risking damage to the tube sheet. Now let's talk about what this means on the job site. With the MiniMill-300-WTRT, the operator is no longer relying on pure muscle to maintain feed pressure and control a vibrating hand tool. Instead, you get a dedicated machine designed around the exact problem: wall reduction of a heavy stub inside a tube sheet hole. So the work becomes more controlled, more ergonomic, more predictable, and faster to repeat from hole to hole. And just as important, it reduces the bad moments that eat time: stalling, jammed chips, stuck tools, and constant repositioning. Because in retubing, time is money, but safety and consistency matter just as much. A tool that runs smooth and stable protects not only the tube sheet, but also the operator. So whether you're dealing with severe corrosion, overexpanded joints, serrated tube sheets, or just stubborn stubs that refuse to come out, the MiniMill-300-WTRT is built to turn that struggle into a controlled machining operation. This machine is the next step in what we've been building for years: dedicated field-ready tooling that helps retubing teams do high-quality work with less fatigue and fewer setbacks. If you've ever spent a day fighting a hand drill in a tube sheet, pushing, vibrating, stalling, and struggling, you already know why this matters. MiniMill-300-WTRT. More rigidity, smoother cutting, smaller chips, less stalling, and a better day for the operator.